Welcome to Defense Talks Matters. Today's update is extremely important because two major developments have unfolded at the same time, and both of them directly affect the future military balance in South Asia and the way regional powers are now speaking openly about the last conflict. Let's start with what happened at the ongoing SCO session in Moscow. For the first time in a long while, we heard something from the Indian foreign minister that indirectly confirms something Pakistan has been saying since day one. The last conflict shook India far more than they publicly admitted. During his speech, the Indian foreign minister said that in any future conflict, India's priority will be to minimize damage.
These threats have become even more serious in the years that have passed. It is imperative that the world display zero tolerance towards terrorism in all its forms and manifestations. There can be no justification, no looking away, and no whitewashing. As India has demonstrated, we have the right to defend our people against terrorism and will exercise it.
Now think about this carefully. When a country starts talking about minimizing damage even before the conflict has begun, it means one thing. They know the losses last time were far more severe than what their own public was told. And this didn't happen randomly. This statement came at a time when Pakistan has openly declared the formation of its rocket force, a force specifically meant to deliver high-volume, rapid response missile and rocket retaliation. The timing is not a coincidence. India knows that the days of calibrated, symbolic strikes are over. If a conflict starts, Pakistan's response will be far heavier, far faster, and far more punishing than before. This is not speculation. This has been publicly stated by Pakistan's national security leadership that Pakistan does not seek conflict, but if aggression is initiated, the reply will be harder than the strike that triggered it. And that is exactly why the Indian foreign minister is talking about avoiding damage. They understand the scale of losses they suffered last time. 7 to 8 aircraft lost within hours, S-400 radar sites compromised, multiple bases impacted by precision strikes, and an air campaign that they simply could not sustain. These are not small incidents. When a country that claims to be a rising superpower suddenly starts speaking the language of caution and damage control, it means they have felt the shock at the highest levels of their military. And on top of this, they know very well that Pakistan today is far more prepared than it was in the previous confrontation. The rocket force changes everything. Instead of reacting with one missile for one missile, Pakistan can respond with 5 for every one. Instead of a slow escalation, Pakistan now has the capability to saturate enemy positions, overwhelm air defense networks, and disrupt forward-deployed formations before they can even mobilize. This is the real reason behind India's cautious tone. They are not speaking about peace, they are speaking from fear of the consequences. Now, let's move to another development that happened quietly but has massive strategic value. At the Dubai Air Show, while social media debates were focused on Tejas versus JF-17, something far more important took place. Pakistan Air Force Chief Air Chief Marshal Zahir Ahmed Baber Sidhu held a rare high-level meeting with the Bangladesh Air Force Chief Air Marshal Hassan Mahmud Khan. And this is not a small diplomatic handshake. This is the first time in years that the top commanders of both air forces have engaged directly at this level. For Bangladesh, this meeting carries serious weight because their air force is undergoing a major modernization program. For Pakistan, it signals that the political obstacles that existed in past years are finally beginning to soften. For decades, the regional environment, especially under the previous Bangladeshi administration, made it impossible for meaningful defense engagement to happen. Now, for the first time, we are seeing both air forces opening channels at the highest level. And that always signals something. Defense cooperation is on the table. And the timing of this meeting is no coincidence either. Bangladesh's air chief visited the JF-17 Block 3 display at the show. While official pictures have not yet surfaced, sources indicate that detailed briefings were given and inspection of the aircraft, possibly even cockpit familiarization, took place. This matters because Bangladesh is currently evaluating multiple platforms for its future fighter requirement, and the Block 3 fits perfectly into the capability cost bracket that Dhaka is looking for. A deal is not confirmed yet, but the strategic shift is clear. Pakistan and Bangladesh are opening doors that were shut for years. Now, from the Middle Eastern Air Show straight to Washington, where the US Congress released a strategic research brief on South Asia. And this brief contains something unprecedented: open acknowledgement that Pakistan outperformed India militarily during the May conflict. The report highlights that Pakistan's use of modern Chinese systems, including long-range air-to-air missiles, J-10C platforms, and integrated air defense networks, delivered clear tactical and operational advantages. And more importantly, the report states that Pakistan succeeded despite being outnumbered 5-1. This is not a Pakistani claim. This is not media spin. This is the US Congress putting in writing that Pakistan's military strategy, execution, and technology integration were superior in that 4-day clash. The congressional brief even mentions that Chinese weapons gained real combat validation for the first time, but only because Pakistan employed them with high discipline, proper doctrine, and effective integration. In simple words, the technology may be Chinese, but the success was Pakistani. This kind of acknowledgement from a country like the United States carries weight. It confirms that the world's most advanced military institutions have studied the conflict and concluded that Pakistan's response was professional, decisive, and strategically calibrated. And this also means something else. The narrative warfare India has tried to run for years, from claiming JF-17 grounding myths to inventing stories about radar failures, has collapsed completely. Because once official congressional documents label your opponent as the clear military victor and acknowledge your losses, the narrative game is over. Now, combine all three developments: India's open fear of future losses, Pakistan's Bangladesh high-level Air Force engagement, and the US Congress crediting Pakistan with success. These are not isolated updates. Together, they reveal a larger picture. The regional balance is shifting again. Pakistan is regaining diplomatic space, building alliances, modernizing quietly, and strengthening deterrence with credible, tested systems. India, on the other hand, is trying to manage damage, manage image, and manage expectations. And the most important thing here is that Pakistan's approach has been consistent. Avoid war, but be fully ready for one. Pakistan does not want conflict, does not want escalation, and does not want an election season stunt from across the border. But if pushed, Pakistan will respond with force levels that India is now openly admitting it cannot absorb without major damage. This is the new reality of the region, and it is being acknowledged internationally, diplomatically, and militarily. Please subscribe to our channel for more updates. We'll see you guys in next video.